Hey, welcome. Hello, Renee. Glad you're all here today. We got another episode of Vectober. This is number 4. We're going to be doing skeleton. Here's a few of the entries that I've done over the last few weeks. Just you can see them better now. Like that. And yeah, first we'll go over some of the entries that we had this week. Then I'll get into doing our skeleton for today. So, start going over the entries. We start off with Bella. And this is what we've done for day 10. We then jump to day 16 for Maverick. We got a second Terror for day 16 as well. Now, day 17, we got the Maverick. Then on day 17, we've actually got 2 prompts for this to do over the weekend. So we're just going to call it day 18 for now. Oh no, there's another something first actually. So this is Second Terror's day 17. Hey Bella, glad you're on. Let's go to Mavericks. Well, day 17, but 18. We got the second one, Terra says day 17 on here, but it's day 18, so I mean, whatever you want to call it. So this is her nightmare. You might recognize that hill. I certainly do. Then back to Maverick for day 20. Avella for day 20. You always forget to put the day. It's okay. They're pretty simple. I judge everything by Mavericks because he just does it every day. And then I just add everyone else's who's the same. So if it's like Mavericks Phantom, then I put everyone else's Phantom underneath that, etc. Because that way I don't miss any. Or hoping anyway. If I have missed you, I apologise. Just tell me, I'll show on the next one. We got Set Montera for day 20. Maverick is a genuine artist. Yeah, absolutely is. We got Maverick for day 21. I like this prompt. Quiver in fear. It's very cool. We got Umbrellas one for the same day. This is her Phantom again, but in fear this time. You love seeing whatever's created. I do too. I absolutely enjoy every one of these as well. Good. Hey, Segma. Nice to see you. Speaking of Segma, we got her 21 for Quiver and Fair. We got the Maverick, day 22. We got Bella, day 22. We got a Maverick for day 23, which is today's one, Skeleton. And we got one more, and it's a mishmash between day 16 and day 23. So I put it here at the end, and there it is. So it's Mummy and Skeleton in one. Very cool. And that was it for the entries for this week. If you want to send your own entries for the following days, please do send them on our Discord or directly to me. And as you see, I post them on the live. They'll be on the group. And sneakily, they might be on the website soon as well. If I can get the website running again. So for everyone to see. Usually we have a Q&A that goes on weekly. Obviously it's Vectober at the May. But don't be afraid to still ask your questions. And I will still try and answer them as quickly as possible. Way to ask a question is to ask directly in the chat. Ask in the comments afterwards if you're watching the video. You can ask in our Q&A section of the Discord, or you can ask on the Facebook community. There is some QR codes there, but you can just click the link in the description. That brings us to today's. Jump the gun a bit there. Let's not go that one. So today's is Skeleton. And I've took a little bit of a turn for Skeleton. So I did a T-Rex like fossil skeleton, and then I've added a little twist at the end, and you'll probably see it on the actual flats now. So many suggestions from Vectober. Yeah, there has been a lot of entries this year. I'm so amazed by. So, if no one can see what it is, there is a tiny dog hanging off one of the bones just here. But this is what we're going to be using to do the shading today. Like say, this is just flats. start. I probably won't get all this done, so you're gonna have to watch me on time on this one. But I'll start with the skeleton itself. Starting with the head here. Start with this top piece. Now we're going to be using the purple and yellow technique. I don't know what it's actually called, but that is the one that we're going to be using today. You probably won't see the yellow part of it because I'll do that afterwards, and so I'll go straight into doing the purple bit, which I'll do now. Go to the pen tool, and I'm just trying to work out where I want the sun to be. Probably top left, shining light. So it would have a shadow here. And it would also have, I'll come back to that in a sec. So for purple technique, we just choose the purple here. Make sure it's clipped inside the object, like so. And then just change the blend mode to multiply. And we'll put this on about, I think it's 50% or 25%, so I can't remember exactly. I think 50 looks too purpley. Might be the color we choose. Get down to 25, see how that looks. It's still looking a bit purplish. And why didn't that clip in there? That is very weird for me. Going on. Bring it out. I put it back in. Not inside the line. Just inside. It's not going. Am I in the wrong bit? I should be inside that piece. But you can still see it's outside that piece. That's very weird of Affinity. Oh, I know why. Inside that group, there is 2 extra objects. This is the top, that's the bottom. So now I'll go clip inside that one. Just like that. We'll go to node tool and just tidy it up a little bit. So we'll have, it still looks a bit pinkish to me, but might be color purple that we used. I'm just gonna try tone that down a bit. Yeah, I think that looks a bit better. So the purple and yellow technique, it basically takes on the color that you're going on top of. So in this case, is that bony yellow color, and that is why it looks like a darker kind of bony yellowy color. At least it should. That is what I was trying to get at. So this piece here is actually, oh no, this, oh, this is why. Right, so this top piece is actually 2 pieces, and that sort of jewel bit is the same separate thing. So what we're gonna have to do is duplicate that and put it inside that jewel bit so that it shows up. Then tidy it up on the nodes like this. So that's cool. Just trying to think, would we have it anywhere else? I think there is, but I'm going to move on and then try something else on this one. So let's go to this bottom jewel, which is here. Let's go to pen tool again. There's a lot of repetition. So this one is going to be following this line, but also taking into consideration the top of the skull there. And when we clip it in, It always puts a stroke. I've no idea why. Affinity again. So I'll just take that off. Change the blend mode to multiply. I think we settled on 25%. Just whatever looks right, or with whatever color you choose, really. Just gonna go to the node tool and tidy up a little bit. Make these smooth. I'm just gonna make it make sense with the rest of the drawing. Just like that. Yep, that's cool. I want to show you something else actually. I know it's going to take more time, but I think it'll benefit a lot of people. I'm just going to grab a bone out here. Go with, yeah, that one. Let's duplicate that. Just move it out of this skeleton onto the top. It would let me. There we go. So just get it out of the skeleton. And then move it with the move tool. Just right out. So let's focus on this bone a sec. Now, this bone is actually round, if you think how a bone is. And we need to shade it as if it's round. So, I'm going to do something that I don't do very often, and that is shade with soft shading. And I'll show you a little trick. So I'm going to go to, I think it's, yeah, this one. I'm going to go to our pencil tool here. I'm just going to select soft brush, probably from my kit I made 5 years ago now, and so many. That one, that one there. Oh, it changed that. I didn't want to do that. Yeah, I think that's about right. So, just make sure that that is shading. No, I didn't think it would be. So I don't do this kind of shading, as you can see. I want it to be a brush, so maybe it's back to brush I'm after. Sort of, a bit dark. Nope, I don't want to do that. Go. Yeah, we can leave it on that color. We don't want to do that to the actual bone. We want to do it to this layer that's now going to be put inside. We'll make this the multiply to 25. There we go. So, yeah, this is not doing it. Very odd. Let's try again. Let's go. I don't know why it's doing that. So let's just go to add a vector layer. Jumped it all the way to the top on the inside of that bone. I can't even find the bone. Where are you? Get rid of that. There he is. Now, well, if I think about strokes, yeah, go inside that layer. Good. Right. So if I make that layer the one that we changed the blend mode on, will it do it for every stroke? Yes, it will. Bit delayed there because my bud's rubbish. That's not as soft as I wanted it either. So I'm going to change that brush. I used to have one that I really liked, and I can't find it now. Image brushes. I forgot what it's called. I haven't done this kind of shading for so long. Actually, it's got in here on it. Edge shader. I wonder if it's that. Alternative edge shader. Try that edge shader, see if it's that one. I think it is that one. It's very subtle. Don't know whether you can see that there. I have to just turn up the opacity on that one a tiny bit so that we can see it more. Put it on, say, 50. Yeah, there. Now it'll shade like it should be. Right. Okay. So let's get rid of all those little strokes I just did. And let's start again. So this vector layer, this inside this brush, was it by itself called the effect? Oh, might have been actually. I can't remember what it's called. Trying to find it. Keep going through until I find it. So many. Candy brush, is that what it's called? In that case, let's try and search. I haven't got a candy brush. Typical. Onto that ultimate pack again. Wherever it was. These ones. Let's try the eye shine brush or something. I mean, any one of these will do what we want to do anyway. Yeah. I'll just use that one for now. And just bleed in those. So let's start with this one. Making this brush a little bit bigger. So the first thing that we want to do, Teek created a lot of brushes himself. Yeah, there is loads and loads. That's why I struggle with which one's what. Especially as I don't shade like this very often. So this bone, like I said, the layers inside, you can do the same purple and yellow trick. So what you want to do is you want to shade basically the outside. So if I can get close enough. All of the outsides of the bone. Bit of a delay on this because my bad. Well, now what that's done is actually made it look a bit more 3D. So very cool. But now you want to pick where that is, like, no matter where the light is, that's as if the light is coming from your eyes looking at it down. So that is, you shade the edges to make it look round. But now you want to pick where the light's coming from and shade the rest. So let's say it's coming from the left hand side, top corner. We want to shade all the bits that wouldn't get light on this side. So just shrink that brush a minute. Especially inside this little gap here. Would be much darker. This iPad, I need to upgrade it every day. Just like that. because that would be the parts where you wouldn't get the light as much. They call that ambient occlusion in 3D. I don't know what they call it in painting. Now just raise this brush up a bit more, like so. A hint of volume to more 3D. Absolutely. So, like the main bit is just to make it like pop out of the screen. But now we're getting into the finer details of where the light's coming from to make it sort of like look absolute. So we want everything on this side the bone basically to be in shadow. So we'd come down all of these parts here, down this edge, down here, like so. And as you see, it's starting to look more and more 3D. Just like that. That is if you were shading using the soft shading, which I don't do. But that is like a little trick to know. So shade it twice as much. Do a version where you're looking at it with basically the light as your eyes to make it pop out on all angles, and then shade it with an actual directable light so that it then makes sense for the scene and looks even more 3D. So I hope that was useful. I'm going to delete that bone. Actually, I'll leave it there. I'll just turn it off. So back to what we was doing. Like I said, I don't do that kind of shading that often. There's probably way better guides out there for that kind of shading. So this is called cell shading. This is what I do. And just going back to this lower jaw piece because I just noticed that this front piece is not very good. So I'm just going to tidy that up now. And there we go. And now we're going to do the teeth. So we'll start with this one. And we'll go. So the light is coming in from the left hand side top. So you'd actually have a shade that goes from the top of this one to the bottom of this one. Like all this section here. We'll make that multiply and 50%. We'll put it inside the tooth. Clip in everywhere else. Just like that. And then we'll tidy up with the notes. I'll get rid of the streak because it was put the streak there. And then we just bend it around like this. Just like that. Perfect. That pattern will actually continue across all these teeth. Just reading the comments. You'll laugh, but sometimes I look for the extrude function. Absolutely. It's like when you've been using 3D. But it's good to think about your drawing as 3D. That helps you with the shading a lot. I'm gonna go through this teeth the same. This one be slightly more down, about there. Get rid of the streak. Put it inside that tooth. Make it multiply 50%. And then just use the node tool to curve it a little. If it would let me grab it. Like that. So this one, like I said, is like a little lower than the other one. Because more of the light's hitting this one. You'd actually have highlights on each one of these teeth, so we'll do that afterwards. So let's go to this tooth, do the same. Go to pen tool. And like I say, this one will be even less of a shadow, but still on the side. So there. Get rid of the streak. Put it inside the teeth. Change it, multiply 50%. And then just go to node tool and just tidy it up a little. Making sure it's a little bit lower than the other side. Just like that. Now we do the same exact thing, but the top teeth. You're creating a new book. Cool, cool. Can't wait to see it. Just gonna close those teeth. That jaw. Just gonna go to these teeth now. Do the exact same thing. So these ones would actually be the opposite way. So like there and around here. Turn off the streak. Put it inside the teeth. Change it to multiply 50%. And then use the node tool just to bend it a little bit into place. So this one's going to be the tallest one out of the three, like so. And then they'll get shorter and shorter as they go. So we'll do this too. A bit lower, so we'll go about there. Turn off the streak, put it inside the teeth. Go to multiply 50%. A lot of repetition. A lot of repetition with these. And we need it a little bit lower actually. Right there. And then we'll just do the last one. And do that bit. So turn off the streak. Put it inside the tooth. Go to multiply 50%. And then use the node tool just to bend it into place. Just make sure it's a little bit lower than the other ones. Right there. So it looks like the light is shining into his mouth. Very cool. Now, there would be shadows on the inside of the bone, but the different color has already done that for us as such. So we can leave that alone. Let's start doing these bones now. There's such a lot to this. Let's start with these. Start with this arm, this bone. I'll find it first. This bone, okay. Let's shade this. Again, with the light coming from that side. So we'll do this piece down to the curve, like so. And you'd actually bend it around that shape following, but I'm going to put a node there, a node there, then back to this piece, and I was finish off with a little bit of a curve. So just tidy up the nodes and show you. Turn off that streak, put the shade into the bone, go to multiply 50%. Now we gotta tidy these up really badly. So this would actually bend right into this piece of the paint, like I said, just like that, and do the same down here, like this. There we go. That's it. That's one paint done out of the many. Let's do that again with everything else. We could actually go into that ambient occlusion thing and make the joint just a little bit darker if you wanted to. I know it's like gonna take even more time, but just showing you. We'll go back to here. We'll just put an extra shadow just here. Turn off the stroke and put it to multiply 50 because they work together, these shadows, so it'll make it look a little bit darker. Just gonna make that follow that piece of the bone, just like that. Let me do the same on this side. This is being really finicky. If you wanted to, you don't have to do this. I probably won't do this on other beans. Going to multiply 50% again. And then node tool finishes it off. Just following that shape. So there we go. That is the equivalent of that type of shading, but in this type of shading. Like I said, I probably won't use that on every bean because that'll get rather tedious. So we'll just get into the other beans. Now on this one, we're going to have it come around there. So we'll actually come up to that curve, this curve, and then it will go over these claws, like that. Get rid of the streak, put it inside the, I guess, arm bone. I don't know whether you'd call it that. Multiply 50%. Now tidy up the nodes. So this would actually be a round socket like this. And then this would come right down here. This would come up into the arm itself. And then around each claw like so. Just like that. Yep, perfect. Now doing these claws. Just reading your comments. It helps you improve your skills on publishing again. I don't know a lot about publisher, but if it helps, that's good. Just gonna shade this claw the same. So following that curve around. Just like that. Again, this would have its own highlight. But we'll do that after. So, yeah, I didn't change it to multiply. The 50%, I just went straight to node tool. I'm missing steps. Right. Now change it to smooth. Just tidying up the nodes there. I keep zooming out because I'm trying to see if it makes sense with the whole drawing. Just gonna go back to the first claw now. Yeah, like the one closest to us, and do the same. And just a little bit more of the light. Bones are a nightmare. You got to take all this into consideration. And I get rid of the streak, put it inside the claw, into the multiply, down to 50%, like so. Trying to realise my steps. And then these two with node tool make it smooth. And now you just tidy up. So like I say, this will have less of a shadow than the other one. There's still a little bit of shadow like that. Perfect. Now can you see the sort of like on the dinosaur side, the right hand side of his body, each bone, even though you can still see them because he's see-through, is actually darker than the other side. That's just because that side would be in total shadow on its own from the viewer, but it would still have shadows from the light as well. So let's try and do that now. Go into the other arm if we can find it. That's a leg, that is an arm there. So that is that main bone. So we'd have the inner shadows off of this bone, just like that. And then it'd probably be about the same. If it looks wrong, I'll change it. I'm trying to do this on the fly. Just gonna get rid of the streak. Go to multiply, go to 50%. You'll see it's slightly darker because it takes on the characteristics of whatever you've put in front of it. I'm just gonna put these inside the bones. Just not clipping outside. Right. This node's gonna have to be smooth, but I do want it to follow that circle. So this, if I can get on that node, this handle is gonna be a little bit less. And this rib, would it be casting a shadow? I'm gonna say yes. So I'm just gonna take that into consideration. Just like that. It might not be. I'm trying to picture where the light is, etc. So this would be that curve of the bone, like this. And then just going up to, I don't know what I would call that, but it's this thing it finishes off. So it looks nicer. Yeah, I think that's about right. That looks right to me. Probably isn't right. Go to the arm next. This one. And copy exactly the same as the other arm, basically. So here, down to there, down to there, and then around the claws. That. We'll go to the straight turn off. I'm going to go to multiply 50% and clip it inside the arm. Yeah, just like that. And now you just change the nodes to make it make sense. So I go around this bone like so. Yeah. bend this one down like this. This one like that. And then just go around the claws like so. Perfect. Now we'll just do the other claws. Yes, this one. What? I wasn't looking. I must be referring to something else in the chat that I didn't see. Sorry. Continuing to do our same thing. Turn off the streak. Put it inside a claw. Put on the multiply 50%. That there's a lot of repetition in doing these. They do take quite a while, unfortunately. Change that to smooth. Now follow that claw around. Like so. This one's going to have a bit more shadow than the other one. Go to the other one. And do the same. So, I know I did it different on the other one. Annoying that the sting keeps coming back. I feel like I spent in trying to get rid of the sting. Not the sting, the streak. Yeah, it's really annoying. It puts it on for no reason at all. I didn't have it on at all in this process. Puts it on every time. Very annoying. Affinity, fix this, please. I'm gonna put that inside of this claw. Go to multiply 50%. And now just adjust the needs. I clipped it inside this way. It's because the other shadow freaked me out then. I thought I didn't do it. I'm going to change those nodes to smooth. And I think that is actually looking pretty good how it is. Yeah, I think that works. Let's quickly do that, I guess, neck vein. I'll see that. As long as you make sure every single item on the drawing has scale with object. That is another thing that I hate. They tried to fix it with scale override, but I don't think it worked that brilliantly, so we're still stuck with the same situation. The actual skull would be casting its own shadow on this, so it's gonna be got like a little bit of a shadow from the skull on this side. So just put this one in, put it inside the neck, change it to multiply 50%. And just bend the nose to the feature like that. Now, this one's going to have natural shadows as well. So, just like we've been doing the rest, this paint is going to cause a shadow as well. So, we'll take that into consideration. Get rid of that stroke. And change it to multiply 50%. And change it with the node tool. Just make those smooth. Nodes. There we go. I'm actually gonna. So I always like having a little flick at the end to make it look finished. That's just a me thing, I think. I don't know if that's right, but I just like it. Now that looks too square, so making it round. Yeah, I think that's about right for that bane. Yeah. So going on to the other ones. Let's get rid of all the main limbs first, then we'll do the ribs. So let's go on to the foot. Let's go to this bone of the foot. And we're going to put in our usual suspects of Pental just here. There. No, I'm just going to put the points there, 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 and there. Just like that. I'm going to change the straight to not. I'm off, I mean. Clip it inside the bane. Go to multiply. 50%. And clean up the names. So we'll have the first one going around the bane like this. Second one goes around the main part of the bane. And get the handles to do what I want. This one does the same, goes around the main, just like so. And then this one, just to finish it off. Do we want the extra? I think I'm going to do it on this one because it's the main focus bane. So let's go for that ambient occlusion again. Let's go a pen tool there, there, and there. We're going to go to multiply 50%. It's already clipped in, so that's good. Go and get 50%. Now I'm just going to change the node slightly. Oh, take the stroke off. I thought I did that. There we go. So it's already clipped in. I just noticed that shadows off as well. So we'll make both at the same time. There we go. So going back to this one. Just gonna make it make sense with the drawing. Don't know why I put it right up there. Very odd. So, and it's closer. Get rid of these handles a little bit. If it would actually grab the handle. And then just bend this into that gap. And we'll do the same on the other side. I'm only doing that because it's quite a big focal point for the drawing. This one. I don't think it's needed, really. You certainly won't see it on my other drawings. Just showing off on the live, that's what it is. Yeah, get rid of the streak. Go to multiply 50%. I'm far too lazy for this. Horribly rendered. Absolutely. So you just go to AI and type in shade this please, and then it just does it. Or something like that, I don't think. And that'd be awesome. Yeah, just like that. Yeah, I think that's right for that bane. I don't know, one with the dog. This one here. This is gonna have a lot more shadow on it because of that dog. So we'll start off as usual. Just here. So now we're gonna have to take in consideration his mouth. Like so. And then back of here. And then the tail to finish it off. Go all around like this. Because when it's clipped in, they won't be there. Get rid of the streak. Change it to multiply 50%. It's very time consuming this, but it does look good when it's done. adjust the needs to make it look good. It would stop doing that to me on the handles. So yeah, these are just go around this nicely. I'm gonna bend this one into place first, and then change this node to smooth, but it's gonna move it again. So I'm just gonna, but it would have moved it worse if I didn't do that. Just in these handles, and the last one, just there. Yeah, there we go. I thought that would be quite funny. The dog sort of like doesn't quite understand, but just sees a bone and wants it. And like he's like lifted off the floor because he's small. I just thought it was quite little funny things. Wanna gonna go to this next bone now and do the same thing. So we'll go to here and then right here. All this part here. Take the stroke off. Put it onto the bone itself. And go to node tool. Oh, change it to multiply 50%. Wonder why it looked dark. Just notice that tail is not quite right there. I back to this one. That's such a perfectionist. And down here. So can you see on this one, I actually made two nodes here. And that it's just a little thing that I like to do because the shadow wouldn't be coming from exactly the same spot like as on both pieces. So I have it like a little bit down from the other one. Again, I don't know if that's right or whether that's not like just a me thing. I do know, but I always do it. Just gonna go to the next bit now. Do exactly the same. We'll start from here. And again, we'll do the two nodes and back. Turn off the stroke, go to multiply 50%. And then clip it. So there we go. Now just the nodes. Well, that one going there. And this one going down here. Actually, that's pretty right here. The dog is very well drawn out. He's a little cutie. I don't know whether you can see, but he has actually got brown eyes. It's probably too small of a detail, but that's just the way I do eyes. So it didn't seem right to not do it. Go to these feet now. Do this bone first. So this bone would actually be causing a shadow on here. And then down to here. And off again. I'm trying to work this out as we go. The camera that streak. Clipping it into the bone itself. And change it to multiply 50%. And go to node tool to finish it off. if the node is inside the drawing, I always like to change it to, if I can get it to go on it, to smooth, so that it looks a bit better. One of those. Have that as a little bit of a tail bit like that, just to make sure that looks a little bit better. There we go. So now onto the claw here. Doing the same trick. Go to here and here. Take off the stroke. Clip it inside the claw. Go to multiply. 50%. What's the time, by the way? Is it time yet? To keep an eye on me. Change these names to smooth. And I will. This one is actually the furthest away, so this will have less of a shadow. And just like that. I'm just looking at the time. I think it is already time. So, sorry about that, but that's as far as we go. I will finish it in my own time. Hopefully, you learned something from that. Very cool. Just put it on our weekly Q&A. Not that we've got time to do any right now, but yeah, if you got any questions, etc., just ask. I thank you all for coming, and I will see you all in the next one. What is the next one? I think it's Werewolf, the next one that we'll be doing on stream. Just reading all your messages, like thank you and all that. Very cool. Thanks for coming. No question. Admiration. Well, I try. Like I said, I don't know whether what I do is right, but this is what I do for me. So, you know, take it with a pinch of salt. I don't know if it's right or not. That's what I would do in that situation. I've been doing it for a few years now. I do look at other references and things to try and see what everyone else does. And I think that is what I've pulled up so far on what other people do. Apart from, you know, like the greats like Michelangelo, etc. Because they do everything in soft shade. And obviously I don't do soft shade, but all your cartoonists out there that do the self shade, I try and learn off these. So yeah, thanks for coming, everyone. And I will see you in the next one.
Paint strokes hit the screen like a heartbeat. Teek Fox in the zone, can't skip a beat. Tutorials blaze and they spark the art. Digital canvas when a legend starts.